On a day, I welcome now back to this episode of Python the Snake. For the last time we do this code, and we call them our first game because we see as if we take use things like dot lower, and if else statement, and we know say okay, indentation just means if and else need to do on the same line, and when we put another if inside another if, you understand, we still put if else inside another if else. We will call nested of as we take down for here. So under this if now, else there, inside this if again, for the middle we still put under if else based on what will happen. So for this class, what we go do be say we go add some things like say okay, for this game now we want make sure say as a person they play the game, maybe for example now if you make wrong choice like this left or right or those kind of things, maybe in the common life or they maybe if you stay mono use life more say we won't give am crown. Understand, just the same way we say game, if they play game, if you do mistake they will come out some point. So for this thing now we want let me start like say okay, for example the player they start with some points, more call the point say na crown. Of course we go put am for this container. We'll just say you get like 4 crown for example. Understand? That one and one. So if we make some moves, we will make sure say the crown go maybe reduce by 2, or for some places if you remove the whole 4. You know. So this crown now are 4 now. So more add something to this place now. We'll say we just want to tell them say they start with so number of crown. For example now, if we talk say we just contact once they say we play now, make contact still print the amount of crown where they start with. So we just say print they start with 4 crown. Or no, we'll just say okay, we start with we'll put the name of the crown which is supposed to be the container name of the crown, will be crown, right? Understand? The reason why I will show you the reason why we go run them like this just now, so that and that one I just method we go make things easy for us. So we just call the name of the crown. Understand? The reason why we do this one is because say in case the number change of that crown, if we just say they start with 4 crown, if you pretend like that, but in case you want change in the number of the crown, maybe for your own grade, maybe you want to use 8 crown like that. So the reason is because say we do one like this, we say for here now the crown, if you want just change within the crown, instead we can't change the code for here. You understand? Instead we change the code for here, we could just change the number for this up. So of course anything we put for here, you will go inside the container bag. You understand? So instead of we're going to change the crown for here now, anything we put for here as the crown or number of crowns, could just put that number for this place. So we'll put crown. So say if you call a container, within the inside the container, it will really they show. From there we go. Don't forget put some of this input to dot lower. Say some people go type their left and right with for example with capital letter, all those kinds of things. So no forget do just the same way. Say we don't do dot lower for here. We still put all these ones too for dot lower. So no forget to that one. So that if anybody type, if you don't know what's in dot lower, go check the previous classes. So just don't forget put all those things for dot lower. Understand? So we'll just see what if you happen for you. Say maybe for example the first thing left and right. Say for here now we just say print you use left hand take you use left hand game over, right? So if we just quickly talk say for example before we do that one, at least you go get the points where you collect before you go just we just tell the person say game over. So let the person know how many points they lose when they use left hand. You understand? For example now before this place we just talk say so now that thing we will learn for here now. So I just want to show us something now. say we don't do different types of and this thing we dey use. So for this one now, wetin this one just mean na say it just mean say minus. If you see anywhere wey dey put minus equals 4, this one just simply mean say for inside crown -4, you understand, anything wey you get as answer, put am back inside the container wey be crown, you understand. So na the same thing as say you say crown, maybe for example -4. But if you say crown -4, we just give you answer of 0 abi normally, but you no go put am back inside. If you say crown -4 like this, for example, we go just give you 0, for example. So wetin you wan do, say you wan use this minus equals. Minus equals mean say once you don do the minus equals, you mean say the crown, the thing go minus 4 from the crown wey you get. Say we get 4 crowns, so you go minus the 4. The answer go be 0. Then you go come store that 0 inside crown. Na wetin this line of code mean be that. So after this one now, we'll just quickly see another thing. So wetin dey here be say just before we just talk say okay, you use left hand, game over. It means say we wan tell am wetin really happen, why the game go over. You use left hand. We don comot. If you just say we don comot, maybe say we don comot your crown or the number of crown, or you understand. We don comot 4 crown, for example. Unexpected indent. Okay, what's going on? We'll check that one later. You come out for 4 crown, game over. At least person go know say na -4 crown. You understand? So that one will be game over like that. So say this one now, na we say okay, we don't know say now -4 crown. Now why the person gets 0 crown, abi? So for here now, if we put, you get, to just say okay, for example, use left hand, you don't come out 4 crown. Maybe you can put something will tell us the remaining, the number of crown we get left. You get just so anything we put the crown will remain from this minus, so we don't -4, so it will show us for this place. You understand? Just to make sure say it's in the clear. So So that one are just one part of this thing. So we learned some things just now. We learned say okay, this minus equals sign. We don't learn that one. We learn say if we add 4 this crown, and how we take represent that crown inside the game. Understand? But for other places where we say the person will lose, we will still add all those things as well. You understand? For example now, for where maybe the first place now, right or left, say we say if left we come up for right. Let's say if you go right, no control say so if you go this right, for example, understand? Say we don't talk say if na right, if na right, may go like this. If na left, na may come that for right, or rather if na any other thing. Because wetin we do for here no be say if na left. Wetin we do for here be say if na any other thing apart from right. So na be that if else, right? If you want talk say okay, make you do the two. You understand? We'll go back to that. We'll use what they call elif, but we'll still go back to that. But for now, what we do for here be say if na right hand though, continue with this next one. Say you use right hand collect hand, you do well, come they go farm. You go ask am another thing, right? And we'll quick continue again. But if na any other hand will not be right, else means say any other thing where you put will not be this right. It means any other thing will be correct wrong. If you put 1, 2, 3, 4, or 10, or goats, or anything where you put will not be this right. Understand? It means say you go minus this 4. Understand? Now we feel do say okay, we won't continue the game. Say okay, if na right hand, we don't continue the game because na right hand, right? And this one now be say greet. Say you want greet or you want pass. If you greet, you understand, you don't win. But if you pass, or you could just not be say if you pass, but if you put another thing way different from pass, for here we prompt them for this greet/pass. We will do for here. Now just to prompt person say okay, now waiting they suppose write be this, so is that they choose it between greet or pass. But waiting this code they really tell us, we say greet now the right answer. Any other answer what you put, you understand, now else be that. For example, now if you no put dot lower for this one, for example, no put dot lower, it means if you even use big letter greet, you understand, or you put big letter for the greet, it means now else be that. You will go this else and print this, you don't lose guard. Because we no put that dot lower. So now something we go on put for this place too. Or maybe if you just try and maybe you see what thing are they really talk about. So we won't put this doctor lower for here. But what I just want me you get from this code be saying if else now say okay. If now so thing if now right, you understand, do this. Else, that means say if another thing will not be that right, make you do the other thing. You understand? I hope say that one they clear, but if you don't clear, mostly try ask some question. Yeah. We won't do some kind different coding for here now. We don't put dot lower for here. If answer not great, you don't win. Correct. We'll just put one more line of code. So if you want add any line of code for here, we say, inside this if else, just say we still put if else inside if else. Say if answer not great, more see, continue. More not to say you don't win. More print maybe if you continue, so that if you use elif statement, maybe you see as it be. So for here now, so the answer say okay, use great abi. More put say okay, correct, you feel continue. Don't if you continue the game. With this thing now, I believe say everybody supposed to build their own story, their own game. Make them as if this thing now, if you write this code now for if it be 3,000 lines, the game go different angle. But the truth be say you need to build them from this ground. They build them small. The remaining things just be like repetition. Because they repeat them, they talk the story inside, and they make sure say all the codes you understand them, and you use what they call flow control. So from the beginning now, if you don't draw as you want make the thing say go right, go left, go middle. If you put them share them to 5 places, if the person go middle, now that thing go see for there. If the person go now that thing go see for there, like that. And from places they still come jam again together. You understand? If you still put them back, say okay, if you pass like this, you minus you go jam for front for here. Different things if you do with this small codes we don't learn so far for this. So this small thing now, we'll just quickly finish this one. We'll see how some of these other things they work. Yeah, for here now, we'll say correct, you feel continue. Say okay, if you continue, so then we'll come talk with him. They will feel continue with. You understand? So for example now, no talk say say we don't talk say you don't see old man go past. We'll put another thing, just another story. But before then, we'll see wetin go happen for this other if else. And we won't talk say okay, this plane need to go under here. um maybe so we know say na wetin dey go after that one be that. So for here now, if answer na great, before we talk say we end the game for there say you don win abi, but then we wan add say one more thing go still happen. We talk say okay, maybe you see fruit for ground, say make you chop am, or something, because now you talk say you dey go farm abi, for the road now you can't see the old woman, you choose between greet or pass. So under greet now, we wan still continue, we wan give am one more option. So under this greet now, maybe for example now, if you pass or if you greet, if you more use elif for here instead of this else, so that we go fit understand this elif statement. Understand? Instead more do this thing. So the two, it means say for this elif statement, it means say anything wey you put, you understand, na correct thing you put. You understand? If you put greet, you no go end. Maybe if you put greet, you no go comot your crown. But if you pass am, you go comot. More put am say you go comot 2 crown. You understand? So more just quickly do that one like this now. So for example now, wetin this elif dey about be say, the two of the this thing dey right. So elif now, if elif, e be like say you put 2 if inside. You understand? So okay, the two dey correct. Anyone wey you go do this one, but else still dey there. Go be like anything wey dey outside these two things. You understand? So more quickly do am, more take show the example. Okay, we don talk say for the first place say okay, if answer na the same as great, correct, you fit continue. We'll use elif for this place. We'll fit see wetin elif be. Say before we say na else, but we get wetin they call elif. Na just say the two make sense, or the two things wey we dey try do for the place still make sense. Understand? Na be this elif. Try see if the indentation makes sense. Okay, you dey well. We'll continue with this elif statement. See if your answer na pass, instead say you gonna end the whole thing. Use elif. Sorry, no be else. Elif just still be like another, if. And for the indentation, it's supposed to be the same line as this if. Okay, we'll say answer. The answer equals you gave something wey we no do. Okay, na this na here problem dey. Why you no dey cover am? Some of these things for phone dey get. Okay, I no put the. You fit continue. Na where you should be that. Okay. So if you don't check all these, don't come across these errors, But say you just look am only, you go don know where your error dey. You fit quickly, you know, do something about them. So we don't use she say answer na pass. For here now, no be if else. Early say okay. If na great to print correct, you fit continue. We'll continue. We'll go back to that one. But if na pass, then the person put may print on that thing. No say more print you pass her, but she collect. You pass her, but she collect 2 crown. You pass her, but she collect 2 crowns. So you don't guess what we go do next. What we go do next now to do that same thing I showed you the other time. We will say crown now go be minus equals. Don't forget what you talk about this minus equals. Minus equals 2. This one just means say crown minus 2. The answer, put them back inside the crown in case we won't use them again. You understand? So I think we'll happen with that. Okay. The next thing for here we say okay. Now when you done minus 2 now, what will be the next thing? What will be the next things? If you just say okay, we'll ask another question straight up. So we don't ask great and pass. We'll say the same way we take the answer question. We need to put input. Say input. We'll say you see fruit for ground, or you reach farm, or just you reach farm, you see fruit for ground. You reach farm, and after you don't pass the woman, have it. So this thing now, make sure say if you just come up with your own story or your own game idea. And every time I want to see, be that no matter how small the game be, you know, say like your own idea so that you can fit, post them for your own Replit or your own GitHub. So after this one, I will take open our own GitHub and we'll begin to post our codes like this. Like write more lines of code, take practice. The longer we write, the better we will do for the code writing. You understand? Because the more you go to see more of these errors where you go to feed the solve. You reach farm, you see man go for floor. Okay, you see man go for floor. What's going to happen now? We'll say what thing you could do for floor. What thing you could do? So we'll say give option, say you go chop am or chop am. Chop, we'll say chop, and then we'll say leave am. We'll just put you go chop. We'll just put you go chop, yes or no? That'll be what you go do. Or you go chop. We'll put you go chop, yes or no? The game go. Yes, no. Don't forget say our dot lower they very important so that in case the person input and where the person puts you go fit sorry. Okay, as you dey write am, dey try know how you go take dey understand the game dey go, and e go good make you dey stop, dey test the one where you understand and reach. Test am, go right, go left, know say everything dey work before you go continue. So doctor, we don't know say once we do this thing, because people go pull something, we won't know if na doctor or something. So now, if your answer na yes, wetin go happen? If your answer na no, wetin go happen? Now we wan do now. So of course, this one now, we know say we see we never put L, so this elif now under am na we still dey, and we want continue from there like that. So if answer na same, don't forget say this one. If answer na same as yes, problem is say if you write all this code now, problem is where we say why I thought say we dey test am as we dey go, na because say if you test am as you go small, you go quickly fit know where issues dey. But if you write am now, you go dey hard, to dey get where the answer dey, or what the issues they dey. You understand? If you put like, you go confuse you like that. So as they go ahead, just dey try, they check am small. Okay, this one now say if answer now say you chop am, for example, you understand? Maybe if the answer na yes, if you just say okay, we'll just say, of course, we'll use that same crown again. We won't say make the crown make it -2 again. You understand? Normally, like I talked before, this crown just be the same thing as see waiting the thing where we dey short to. So I don't make I never type am. See waiting it be for here. Understand? And this thing we dey short am to this minus equals 2. So wetin we dey try actually dey do is say the new crown wey dey now, now crown -2. So we dey comot 2 from inside the crown, right? So this same thing now we dey short into this minus equals 2. I think I say that one dey clear like that. So for here now, if you notice now, say we don't first -2 from maybe from this up now. We don't first -2. You get some for say for here now. Say if the person pass this pass, in them -2. For here, you don't get another -2. So once we want to check, because if we don't check this thing now, we not go know what thing to do. Understand? So every time you want to check something like this, say of course it go dey under this crown, or it go dey inside, because they no follow the flow. So we just check, say okay, if this crown now don't less than 2, or sorry, if it don't less than 0 or equals to 0, maybe less or equals to 0, make it dash, make it say. So anytime we say this, from the game now, we want check, because the game no go know. Say okay, the crown are 4 or something. Let's say for the last time, for this down now, we type on for here, say okay, we come out 4 crown and all those things. So now why you print this particular thing? But this one what I want to do now, anytime for the game where the crown don't be less or equals to 0, it go print straight up. You understand? So if you did do more bigger game, or it did more complicated, I think we could do with that. So if crown dey less or equals to 0, waiting go happen. Don't forget, say if after your if, you need to put this colon. So anytime with this crown don't dey less or equal to 0, you need to print, say it don't dey less or equals to 0. or you don't reach 0 rather. So we just say now maybe on a 0 crown you get now. So anytime where you don't see this if crown don't less than 0 or than 0. So sometimes, for example now, maybe maybe now 6 crown, they can't come out 8 at once. Now less than it will be less than 0. For example, it will be like -2. So if now 0 crown you get now, game over. So anytime for the game at all, where we don't put this thing, I think go really happen with that. Understand? So don't forget say we sit there on some kind thing for here. Okay, this else we dey here now, say we never complete this one with else. So this else now for that other where you take use left hand, this one now we don't enter inside and again. So we'll complete this one with your own else. I don't know if you don't scatter, but I believe say since now don't they follow since, or I will understand what we they do. I believe say the only new thing we will do for here today. Now this I will take minus at some points this crown, a leaf now, and that thing will be new thing for this one. So you understand, but we no get any other one we will do. So we don't do say okay now 0 crown you get now, you don't lose guard or something like that. Say this one now, for example, so okay you don't not be here, sorry. Now where we stop it is say, oh sorry, make I first come on this one first. We'll not confuse things. Rhyme for there. Yeah. Say okay, you don't lose guard or don't forget say this else now for that very first one. Right or left, right? So this one we do if, we do elif, we do another if. So if they do that if they go say if so condition be or do this one like that. Till we come here. Now 0 crown, might say now 0 crown you get now. We just say, or maybe print down everything, okay, game over. Okay, we use this one check, say okay, what is the number of crown? So now 0 crown you get now. Just with use this one check the number of crown. So after the number of crown, if you can put game over, just print 2 things. Print just because that one are just to check them, right? Because if you pass another way, if you know be like that, for that if I don't know if you understand me. I'm not so many questions go there for this one because like I say we don't come the one way they but if you just pick them one by one from waiting you understand. I believe in the new things this minus equals 0, now something we don't know how to calculate all these kind of things before. So for this if elif if we will do, for say this other if they inside here, right? Just to check crown. For that same indentation, that same line, you understand? We need to put in own else. That's not the line, but that okay, correct. Else it means say if all those things not happen, else we could be say okay. Minus equals 4. We can say print it will print the number of crown we remain. But don't try jump any of these classes because you go really then one kind because you don't go really understand what's in the go on at all. Now why we just break, try to like break many things down from the beginning, so that when we reach this kind of place, now once we dey talk something, you dey get everything once immediately, you know. But if you jump anything, if you get many questions, and that one go set you fit carry person go back small, because you go dey ask questions, from where where you don't go know wetin dey go on for the place. But before the end of this time, I go explain the new things we will do, but we no do plenty new things. We don't lose guard. I never try this our code, but we'll try if error dey. Let's say we dey try we dey check the error since, but if error dey, we go still look this one now dey show this okay, this one dey okay. Print now, so it will tell us the crown we'll get, abi. Crown, you don't lose guard. Those kind of things. Or print game over for you. Like I talk, you no wan miss any part of this thing. The one way, if you don't understand one, you no go make sense. Just make sure so you understand one part before you try go another part.